All right, let's get real for a second. You've got yourself your buyer trigger statement. You're feeling yourself. You've finally drawn a line in the sand. You know the situation your target market's in and the problem you're solving, and life feels good for a hot second. But then this little sneaky voice comes in and says, what if the thing that you picked doesn't really light you up? What if the thought of living, breathing, and eating a particular topic for the next 5 years makes you want to crawl under the desk and fake your own death? Okay. And I can tell you right now, this little thing that has been niggling at you is the thing that has kept you stuck for years. And there comes a certain point in time where you got to put your big girl pants on and actually make a decision of what you're going to do. Because listen, I've seen so many entrepreneurs pick a niche just to make money. They think, oh, I'll just do weight loss because that's what I know. I'll just do finance because that's what I did in corporate. But deep down, they don't actually want to live there. They just think it's safe and maybe it's something that people will pay money for. So before we go any further, I want you to think to yourself with the buyer trigger statement that you've actually created, is this thing the actual thing that you want to be known for? And I'm not trying to create doubt in your mind. I'm just trying to get you feeling really solid about what you've chosen. And I want to make sure that you're not just picking something because it's on trend, that you're picking something because it pays fast, but that you could talk about it until people beg you to stop talking about it. Like people often beg me, especially my husband. We have this funny little joke with us right now where he's, oh, you're going to tell me about another AI thing? Because he gets sick of hearing me talk about it because that's how obsessed I am. And I'm 3 years in, okay? 3 years in on the AI side. Because if you're not obsessed with it, if it doesn't make you geek out like a 12-year-old with the newest iPhone, you're going to burn out faster than a cheap candle at a yoga retreat. And maybe you've got a little imposter syndrome thinking, but I'm not an expert yet. Okay? Who here feels that way? Guess what? No one is an expert when they start. Experts are not born, they're created. So it's okay if you're not an expert in what you want to do yet. If in the example of a postpartum mom trying to lose weight, you might be in that journey yourself, but a couple of steps ahead. And the reason why you want to do something around it is because you want to solve your own problem. And that's okay. So if you're still figuring things out, but you got a spark, a curiosity, a little fire about something, and I want you to lean into that. You don't need to be miles ahead, just a few steps ahead. Let me tell you a little story. Back in 2013, picture me, baby entrepreneur, energy, giant dream, zero clue about what I was doing. I launched my first program and thought to myself, I'll help current graphic designers learn how to do branding because I was a current graphic designer at that time and I was doing branding. Sounds cute, right? Except for when I actually went through the experience of working with classically trained designers, I actually really didn't like it because it turned into the Hunger Games of creative egos. Those kind of pissing contests where who's doing it the right way. And everyone had their own process, their own opinions. And I was like, this isn't really fun. What I like doing is I like opening people's eyes to something that they've never seen or understood before, the way that I did when I was an art student. But then I started working with coaches and non-designers who were DIYing their brands out of sheer necessity. They were hiring expensive photographers and getting cookie cutter results and also crying in Canva most of the time. And that's when I lit up. So teaching those folks, the non-designers, how to make something beautiful that actually felt like them, that's when I realized, oh, this is my thing, okay? And so the reason why I'm bringing this to you is that as you go through and you figure out your buyer trigger statement and you're all ready to go gung-ho on it, you need to test it if you haven't tested it before, okay? And that means being able to take on a few one-on-one clients to see if this is who you really want to work with. So you have to start somewhere, and doing the work, the clarity comes. You pivot, you evolve, and you find your sweet spot. You don't want to be overthinking your niche to death. You're not signing a blood oath here. This is a starting point, not a forever point. Because you know what they say when you do things that are too general out of fear. that also brings crickets because people can feel that energy from you and they can feel that maybe you're not really wanting to do what you're doing. So you'll get crickets on social media, you'll get crickets on your ads, cricket on your launches. Why? Because you're speaking to woo benefits like we talked about in the last video with like empowerment and expansion. You're not really promising anything because you're scared to promise anything out of fear that you won't be able to get them a result. And remember, people buy solutions to real problems that real humans want. Nobody's buying heart alignment. Like, man, I really need to get that heart alignment course. They're buying solutions to their pain points. What does the heart alignment actually, what problem is it actually solving for them in their life? Especially if you can relate it to health, wealth, or relationships. So here I want you to ask yourself, do you need to revise your trigger statement? Is there something where if you pulled the trigger too soon with a target market that you've chosen, is there something about it that's not feeling aligned for you? Is this something that you would actually want to live on for the next 3 to 5 years? Are you going to be passionate about helping this person? And if you don't know yet, that's okay. You can actually test this. You can actually go through and experience if you want to work with somebody or not before you do it. And keep in mind, like my whole entire program, again, was made for designers originally, and I pivoted in the middle of it and it worked out fine. The program stayed the same. The kind of things I was teaching stayed the same. It's just the target market ended up shifting. And if the answer is no for you right now, then this is the time to pivot before we've actually really done anything. And if it's a F yes for you, then let's effing go. Because you don't have to start off as the world's top expert. You just have to start as someone who cares enough to master it. And you need to be really bought into, this is my life's journey to help this particular target market solve this kind of problem. My life's journey is to help online coaches create amazing brands and businesses and make incredible things happen for their businesses. So remember, this whole journey is about building a business that you actually love, not one that you secretly resent. Because when you love what you're teaching, the world feels it. I hope you feel it for me. And that's really where the magic happens. So if you need to go rewrite the trigger statement, if you need to go make it one that you proudly live, breathe, and scream from the rooftops, something that you want to become an expert in, if you're going to make a revision, make it now. Know the 80-20 rule. 80% is better than 100%. You might not ever feel 100% until you actually get some experience of working with this target market under your belt. Now, if you're watching this video and you already know exactly the target market you want to help and you're currently helping them, then keep on keeping on. But if you do discover through this process that you actually have been doing the thing that makes you money and not the actual thing that lights you up, use this as permission to shift into something new if you want to. But make sure that you want to do that, especially if your business is fully established. And it could be testing a new target market too, is the other way to do this. If you're an established entrepreneur and you're here, this could be an opportunity for you to be testing a new target market. If you are you're outgrowing the old one, you're wanting to add in some new products and services or things like that. The checklist that you're looking for here is this something I want to be known for? Is this something I want to become an expert in? Is this target market who I seem like I would want to work with, but even if you're not sure yet, that's okay. And then the last part, is this a topic that you could not get sick of for the next 3 to 5 years? And lastly, are there any potential reasons why you might be doing this, solving this problem that might not be fulfilling you in the long term? Meaning you're doing it for money, you're doing it because everybody else is doing it, but there's something on your heart that you actually really want to do, but there might be a belief there that you can't for some reason. So let us coach you through that. Come to the community, get coaching on this, because this is where the magic happens. Okay? So I'll see you in the next lesson.